I don't know what y'all do for a living, but gosh, my job's pretty stressful. I guess in your world, it's like having an 11 o'clock deadline and you start writing your story at 10:45 right there. I mean, can't say enough about our kids. Down 4-0, and we went, I guess, 8 innings yesterday without scoring, and the first 5 or 6 today. Hard to keep the Mountaineers for 13 straight innings without scoring a run. So you knew it was in this park just a matter of time till something happened. And when we left the bases loaded and nobody out in the fourth, I thought things weren't going our way. But I thought the biggest part of the game was it's hard to grab momentum in a game on defense. But when that guy went out and struck out the 3 guys in the middle of our order with the bases loaded and nobody out, they ran off the field yelling and excited and screaming. And Cade Stroud went right out there when they had momentum and threw up a 0 and just kept us in the game. Because usually when you run off the field with defensive momentum, it just translates to home plate and you score a couple runs. So for Stroud to go out and throw a 0 up after that, I thought was a huge part of the game.
Randy, the storyline has been your pitching shortages, obviously. Did you envision that it would work out in your favor where you were able to not pitch Sigmund the first couple games and actually have the advantage coming down the stretch?
Well, the beauty of Sigmund is that he could have pitched yesterday and done the same thing he did today. Jackson Sigmund's a senior. He's not going to get drafted. He's got a master's degree in finance. His baseball career is coming to an end, so to not let that kid pitch anymore if he wants to pitch, I'm not going to make that decision for him. He's going to live a happy life as a finance guy and probably never pitch another game in his life after this. So don't be surprised if you see Sigmund again this game, because he finished the game just as sharp as he started it.
Any other questions for Coach Mazie? What more on that, Coach? I mean, how valuable has that guy been for you over the course of, really this whole season? I mean, it seems like he's just been a rock for you in the bullpen along with a couple other guys back there.
He really has. He was really good early in the season. Then he hit a spell where he gave up more homers than I have relatives, I think. And he went back in the bullpen and made a mechanical adjustment of all things. And those side armors, if you make a mechanical adjustment, one little adjustment adds a lot of sink to your ball. So he did that, and he got hot. And then he got cold again. He wasn't all that great in the conference tournament. But we watched some video, and he went back to that same mechanical adjustment, and today he was really good again.
What was the adjustment?
Just, getting the arm slot a little bit lower. He started throwing a little bit harder, watching the velocity on the scoreboard, and his arms started creeping up. He was falling in love with some 86s and 87s, and the ball was flattening out, so had to convince him that doesn't matter how hard you throw, it's all about your sink. So get your chest over your front knee and get that arm slot back down where it belongs, and he's really good again for us.
Coach, it seems like sending Darius on that 3-2 offer into Cole Austin probably changed the complexion of that 8th inning for you. How important is being aggressive on the base pass for your team?
Well, after the missed squeeze attempt there prior to that, I thought aggression was real important. After that, I thought, man, this aggression stuff isn't working out too good right now. But that's part of it. Pudge has been in that situation before where we squeezed with him in that situation, and he executed it perfectly, but that pitcher picked an awful time to throw a fastball in the other batter's box. And we ran into an out that we shouldn't run into there. But, yeah, I hate to – a lot of hitters will tell you they hate to have guys moving in the background when they're swinging. So there's a lot of times we don't run on 3-2 pitches for fear of distracting the hitter. But, that time it worked out really well. So, that's usually when you run off second base, you're right in the hitter's line of vision. But running off first base, a lot of times the hitter doesn't even know. So, second baseman bobbled it just enough to let Darius get to second. So that worked out pretty well.
You mentioned Maryland getting the defensive momentum after not getting the run home with the bases loaded. But you've got to bounce back from that too. And I know you've been able to do that well this year. Any talk or anything special in the dugout, or was that just business as usual?
No, it was business as usual, you know, and Kyle Davis and Jackson Kramer were the ones that made the outs in that inning. And I think after that happened, they took it upon themselves to have a good game from that point forward. And I think Kyle hit one double and Kramer hit two after that. So those guys in the second half of the game felt like, man, that fourth inning, that was my fault. So let me carry the team the rest of the way here.